Hi, today we are looking at math concepts and assumptions that we must know that will help us a lot as we deal with solving equations and other math operations. So if we have this can be read as a square root, and at the same time this is also a square root of x, and we can also write it as raised to the power 2. They all mean the same. These two are radical form. Normally we don't put the 2, but it's not wrong if you put the 2 over there. It means the same, and this is the rational form. If we have x, 1x is normally assumed to be just ordinary x. At the same time, negative 1x can also be assumed to be negative x. It's all acceptable. Okay, so here m to the power 0 is 1. Same time, 1000 to the power 0 is 1. It's one of the law of exponent. So we have to know that. If we know that, it's going to help us a lot. E of 0 is 1. We have to know that one too. And then we have the natural log of E. It's also 1. We need to know that as we get into our log. We need to know that any number times 1 is at the same as that number. So 120 times 1 is the same as 120. If we have n, we have to know that it's the same as n over 1. We don't write it. We assume that every number is divided by 1. So you need to know that as you dealing with math. If we have a number and it's divided by itself, it's 1. And it could be a lot of reasons, because we know that every number is of power 1, and here is also of power 1. So if that is the case, they have the same base, and we have that. We have 1 minus 1, and then it would have been that. And we know that every number to the power 0 is 1, so it's 1. But for every law, there's an exception. If we have 0 divided by 0, gotta be careful. This is error, or mathematically we said it's undefined, because there's no number that can be divided in a group of 0. So it's a fact that we need to know as we are dealing with math. The square root of 0 is 0. Okay, in the real situation, we said that square root of a positive number is a perfect square, so it becomes plus or minus 2. But if we have square root of negative 4, in the real situation, we say that this is also error or undefined. As we get into complex or imaginary numbers, then we can say that this is going to be 2i. This is in the imaginary. If that is the case, then we say that I squared is equals to negative 1. Therefore, we can say that I to the power 4 is 1. And now let's get into the integers. And positive times positive is positive. Negative number times a positive number is negative. A negative times a negative said is positive. If you want more understanding, I have done a video on that, so we can check it out. You can also say that a positive divided by positive is positive. A negative divided by positive is the same as positive divided by negative, which is the same as negative 1. But if you have negative divided by negative, is positive. If you have a log base of the same, we said this one is also 1. And then if we have the m times m, we know that it's going to be m. Every number is raised to the power 1, so times raised to the power 1, and that is of the same base, so we add plus 1, and that gives us 2. So that's the reason why a number times itself is a square. If today is your first time, subscribe, like, and see you in the next video.